Jim Brogan. I was born here. I've been here all my life. I have 2 degrees from the University of Tennessee. So we do wealth management and retirement planning. So what does that really mean? Anything in your life that could impact your finances, whether it's investing money, whether it's how to structure income, if we can optimize our taxes, so we serve people. And that's part of our mission statement. We serve people.
And yes, they do. If you've never met Jim Brogan, he is an amazing man. He's on WKOI, I think radio, has a whole radio show there. So if you ever see him out in public, give him a big old shout out and a high five. He's a great guy. Good morning. Happy hump day. Happy hump day, everybody. Got to get the camel up there. Of course, we got Ed Rupp coming up. We're talking about the chance for some isolated strong to severe thunderstorms today. Isolated in nature, but the possibility is still there, not to mention torrential downpours. So we're going to walk you through that forecast. We're also talking about, well, we don't really have any cold fronts to do a clean sweep through the area. And so we're not really going to get a relief from the humidity. Actually, the humidity is going to build even more as we get into the upcoming weekend and the start of next week. All right, good morning, Kimberly, Dwayne, Katrina, Lisa, Eva, Julie. Let's see, we got Missy, Rachel, Denise, Linda, and Jason all on the chat here this morning. By the way, if you're joining on the app, you can just jump over to Facebook and or YouTube, and you'll be able to comment. And, of course, we're going to be going through national holidays, events, and some Witcher's Pictures coming up to share everything with you to get you out the door with this family-friendly way to get your weather forecast every single day. You saw it at the beginning, but let's take you back outside and show you what it looks like from downtown Clinton. A beautiful sunrise taking shape here this morning. And tomorrow night is the Buck full moon. So we're going to be talking much more about that tomorrow as well. All right, let's talk about the forecast. Yesterday we did top out at 94 degrees. What was I forecasting? I was forecasting 93 and about a 40% chance for showers and thunderstorms. So I think we pretty much saw that. I didn't pick up a ton at the reporting stations, but some folks got some pretty good solid downpours over towards Loudoun County, which, by the way, I want to share a cool little time lapse from KMNV. Take a look. All right, so I take that back. This is from Fort Loudoun Dam, and the reason why I wanted to show you that is because we had one storm that fired up just to the west of this dam. Watch this. So we had the fair weather cumulus clouds developing, little popcorn skies, if you will, letting us know that the convection in the atmosphere has already begun. The rising air like a pot of boiling water. But here we go. Here comes that storm. Boom. You see that thing just explode, and then it just kind of rained itself out. Never even rained at the camera itself. And I only got about a sprinkle at my house yesterday. I didn't even get hardly anything. And so I don't know about you, but my yard continues to be nice and dry and crunchy. All right, so we have this cold front to our north and west. We've got that northeast to southwest orientation in the atmosphere. High pressure hanging strong across the southeastern coastline, but that cold front's associated with the trough. Now, while the trough does technically kind of swing into the area, the cold front's not going to do a clean sweep, and so that's why I said we're just not going to get much in the way of relief from the extreme humidity that we've been experiencing. So when you look at your mid-level energy and spin, you can see how this trough is digging. See those little white lines, how they're dipping south? That's a trough. And right along the trough base and out ahead of it is where we get rising air. Back behind it, notice we don't have any reds and oranges really. That's where we get sinking air. So out of ahead of a trough, we typically get the rising air to produce the showers and thunderstorms. And that piece of energy is going to be swinging its way into the area today and tomorrow, which will spark off elevated rain showers and thunderstorms. And we have enough energy in the atmosphere and enough shear in the atmosphere, winds changing speed and direction with height, that we actually could see some strong thunderstorms. Not a lot of fog out there this morning, but we do have some patchy dense fog, Hawkins-Hancock County up towards Claiborne County into southwest Virginia and southeastern Kentucky. So if you're joining us from those locations and you have fog, share a photo with us, upload it to the East Tennessee Weather app under Witcher's Pictures, and we'll share that live on the air here this morning. Temperatures are trending warmer this morning. We're in the 70s. It's a warm, muggy start to the day, just like Monday? Just like Monday. Monday, you walked outside in the morning, and after a nice weekend, albeit hot, and you're like, whoa, this was crazy hot, crazy humid. The sweat factor goes way up on days like today, and no relief from that. So we're trending a little bit warmer this morning, and this afternoon will be about average or so. 85 degrees as we get into the lunch hour. Forecast high temperatures. We'll top out in the low 90s, going about 91 degrees in and around town. But because we have high humidity, heat index values will still be pushing the mid to upper 90s. Let me get centered here. And so we are looking at some warm and muggy conditions, but as I mentioned, we do have that risk for isolated strong thunderstorms. The Storm Prediction Center, this really hasn't changed much from yesterday. We do have a level 1 risk for severe weather. Again, we'll break that down here in a second on your different categories. When you look at storm energy, the forecast storm energy, this is also known as CAPE, Convective Available Potential Energy, buoyancy in the atmosphere. How much buoyancy do we have? And if we can reach that buoyant layer in the atmosphere, just like you saw in that future cast, the storms will just go doof and explode up. But we have a lot of energy in the atmosphere, and so that's what's going to lead to those isolated strong thunderstorms. So let's walk you through the future cast. And again, it's not too widespread, but we'll see quiet conditions from now through lunchtime. Then as we get into the afternoon, we're going to start to see those showers and thunderstorms fire up. Again, not too terribly impressive, but like yesterday, torrential downpours, so not everybody necessarily gets the rain. Look to the west and southwest. That's where the storms will be coming from. But a little bit better coverage of rainfall throughout the day today. And because we have a water-loaded atmosphere, remember I've talked about precipitable water before, how much available moisture is able to precipitate out of the atmosphere. I mean, we're pushing like a 1.8 to a 1.9, which is extremely high, and lets us know that we have that water-loaded atmosphere. So the Weather Prediction Center has put us under a level 1 and level 2 risk for flooding and flash flood concerns. So there's something to keep in mind. When you break it down into different categories throughout the afternoon and early evening hours, low category for damaging wind gusts, but possible. Not a chance for tornadoes. And I know that I typically say, well, there's never a 0% chance, and there really never is a 0% chance for the most part. But this is as low as it can possibly go. So, yeah, tornadoes are not a threat. Hail, probably not. Maybe some pea-sized hail if we can really get some of those storms to push to about 35 to 40, 50,000 feet in the atmosphere, which is possible. Then we may see some pea-sized hail, but we've got warm air, water-loaded air, atmosphere, the freezing level's way too high, so hail's not likely. But a medium category for isolated flooding and flash flooding concerns, and if you have evening plans here tonight, whether this tonight is your weekend tonight because you work on the weekends and you have the weekdays off, whether you got soccer practices and outdoor events, we'll have to dodge a few thunderstorms. So you remember to track those with the East Tennessee Weather app. If you're joining on Facebook here this morning and you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, make sure you scan that QR code in the bottom right-hand side of the screen or just log on to easttnweather.com. I have links for Android and iPhone right there at the top of the screen, or just search East TN Weather, all one word. Just look for the orange TN and the white lightning bolt. All right, so heat index value and dew points. We show you these together because they work together. The higher the dew point, the higher the temperature, the higher the heat index value. But notice our dew points are going to stay in the low to mid 70s for the next 7 days. That's what I was saying. The cold front doesn't do a clean push, so we don't see any relief from the humidity around the area, which leads to that heat index value. All right, so elevated rain chances here for the next several days, a little bit more of an active weather pattern that's setting up shop. So when you break it down day by day, yeah, we are looking at a little bit of a rainier weather pattern to set up shop. About a quarter to half an inch of rainfall all the way through Friday. Most of the rain, the heaviest rain will be across the plateau and the mountains, the higher elevations, typical for summertime events. But when you get into our Sunday, we're going to see not a ton more, but we will continue to add up each and every day just a little bit more rain. Rainfall totals over the next 7 days could area-wide be anywhere from a half an inch to over an inch in some locations, or even higher than that. Some of the mountain locations could pick up upwards of 3 inches of rainfall over the next 7 days. And that's just strictly due to the fact that we'll see summertime thunderstorms popping up in the mountains first, and then they'll drift their way into the valley or develop in the valley as well. All right, here's your 7-day forecast. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, elevated rain chances, which is good news to pass along. We need the rain desperately bad. But, I was talking to my neighborhood kid yesterday, and he mows our yard. I let him mow the yard because I used to have a lawn service back in the day as well. And so I want to support the local kids. Plus, it saves me like 2.5 hours. I live on almost an acre of land. And so it definitely takes a long time. And I only have a push mower. I don't have a zero turn or anything like that. So 2.5 hours is definitely worth paying somebody else to do it, especially supporting my neighborhood kid, which, of course, his dad does all my merchandise, Label Industries. And they're actually going to be doing a tent for me because we've got some events coming up. I do have some big news to share with you as well coming up here when we talk about those events and holidays. So we'll be talking about that in just a moment. But I can't forget, and we would never forget. Well, I've forgotten in the past, but let's not forget today. Let's say good morning to Ed Rupp, shall we? Let's start that over. Let's say good morning to Ed Rupp, shall we?
Wait for him. Wait for him. Bam! Now we slide all the way downhill to the weekend. The kids can get ready for school, and Debbie can take her shower.
Debbie can take her shower. Now it's time for those national holidays, but before we get there, and by the way, good morning, Ed Rupp. Before we get there, a live look in downtown Gatlinburg. Great view. Nice quiet start. It's a hazy start to the day, thanks to the high humidity levels that are hanging out with us. All right, let's talk about those national holidays. Unfortunately, we only have 2. Good morning, Brandy. Joining us from Wartburg this morning. Nice. How are you this morning? I love Wartburg, by the way. I love Morgan County. It's so pretty up there. All right, so we're celebrating birthdays and events, and since we're talking about this, let me tell you about an event that's coming up on August 31st. Have you heard about it? It's called the Big Kahuna Wing Festival. My good friend Matt Beeler owns the wing company here in town and has put on this festival for years. They expect anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 people at World's Fair Park. Well, guess what? I've been asked to be their official meteorologist for the Big Kahuna Wing Festival. I told you, my friends, we're growing each and every day, every single day. So if you've never been to the Big Kahuna Wing Festival, I highly recommend it. Tickets are already on sale. I'll start posting some stuff on social media here soon. But it's a big event and a great event if you love wings. I will have a tent down there. I will be broadcasting all my weather forecasts for the day, my recorded ones that go all over East Tennessee weather platforms. I'll be recording those down there and doing that. And I'll be keeping everybody safe, hopefully, and tracking, hopefully, 0 storms. We know that August can be hot. We know that August can bring us some afternoon storms. It is still technically summer. But the Big Kahuna Wing Festival, August 31st, World's Fair Park. Tickets are on sale. Check that out. It's going to be a great event. And I've been invited to be the official meteorologist of the event. That's awesome stuff. All right. If you have any events going on, let us know what is the deal in and around your area. Here in Aegis, Kentucky, we have fog every morning. Yeah, you probably do. We got to 99 degrees yesterday, very hot, and humidity was awful. Couldn't breathe, even with a fan on the porch. That's a classic Kentucky summer right there, Sharon. It's National Dimples Day. Do you have dimples? I have dimples. Right there. My dad has the same dimple right there. You know what everybody used to tell me growing up? They said that, because there were times where I didn't like this dimple. There were times where sometimes it looked a little bit bigger than other times. But people always told me, that is God's thumbprint right on you, my friend. I suppose it is. Nice little chin dimple that's not going anywhere. It's going to be with me for the rest of my life. My skin got stuck to my bone right there. And it's National Sugar Cookie Day. All right. Who doesn't like the sugar cookie? Do you like the sugar cookies? Do you not? I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the classic sugar cookie with the frosting on top. I'm not a huge fan of frosting. The sugar cookie, let's see. Add some cinnamon to it, and let's make it a snickerdoodle. And now we've got yourself a cookie that I'll eat. But that is all we have for the day. Boo on that. Oh, well. Let's take another live view. We'll take you now to KMNV and show you what it looks like in Monroe County, Madisonville. Great little airport right there. And we had a great aviation day yesterday. A lot of folks out flying yesterday. It gets a little bumpy in the summertime heat if you're a general aviator. Get out there this morning. while the atmosphere is calm before it starts to bubble up like a pot of boiling water. Oh, let's see. This is my favorite voices to hear in the morning. Ed reminds me of getting ready for high school in the morning. Oh man, now you're aging me here, William. Just saying that because I've been with Ed Rupp for years. Making this man feel a little old. But I love having Ed Rupp on the show. It just makes my week every single week. So Ed, we love you, my friend. Everybody loves you. Thanks, Cheryl. I appreciate it. Thank you, Portia. It's great. It's great news. I love it. And I actually was a judge. Oh, geez, with Michelle Silva, if you remember her. Back in the day, we were judges for the actual wing contest. Some of them were a little spicy, but they've had a lot of wings out there. I'm telling you, it's a great event. So join us. I also have another event coming up today. By the way, today is Wednesday, so let's talk about that. Let me get all my information here. Where's my sheet? I got so many pieces of paper running around here. But anyways, I'm going to be. Hold on, stand by. I'm going to be at Master Battery from 1 to 3 o'clock here this afternoon. You've probably heard it on the radio stations if you listen to any of the radio that I do weather for, which I do weather for 19 radio stations now. 19. But anyways, from 1 to 3 o'clock today, I will be at Master Battery at 2217 Calhan Drive. It is Customer Appreciation Week this week. You'll have a chance to win $500 today, or this week anyways. You have a chance to win a Generac generator. They've got free food, free drinks, and good old Witcher will be there from 1 to 3 o'clock here this afternoon. So come say hi. Mike Hammond will be there. He's the manager of the store there. So Master Battery, Calhan Drive, check that out. I'll be there from 1 to 3, and it's Customer Appreciation Week all this week. So lots of events going on. Let's see. Brandon says, wow, missing Ed, and either I was late or you was late to the live. I was not live. You were late. Everyone have a great day. Curly says your new nickname, the Big Kahuna. I like it. I'll take it. Oh, thanks, Denise. Thanks, Katrina. Dimples and freckles are in, bro. I'm good with that. I'm not ashamed of my dimple. Can't really see it. Okay, there you go. Don't really have these. I just have like smile lines there. Funny thing is my kids have like the summertime freckles. They get a little bit kissed by the sun a little bit, and the freckles start to come out a little bit more. That was me. What's that character? The redhead character with the, I can't think of his name. I can picture him. That's got all the freckles. But I do have a little bit of a tint of red in my hair. I actually used to be like white. I was a towhead as a kid. Believe it or not, I was. My kids were a little bit of a towhead as well, but I was really so much so. I don't even know if that's a term that's allowed to be used anymore these days. But anyways, I had blonde hair. Not so much. But hey, I'll take all the hair that I can get, or keep, rather, because it's going quickly. But I used to have a lot of freckles as a little kid, and now my kids have that as well. Your ex-husband has a dimple there. There you go. My dad's got a pretty big dimple there as well. Snickerdoodles are the best. And cinnamon ice cream. Aaron, come on, give me a hug. Right there. You're speaking my language there, Aaron. Snickerdoodles and cinnamon ice cream. Isn't that a cool view of the airport? I love that view. And we're still working on cameras. I know they're not all live all the time on the website, but we will definitely get those working in the coming days. We need Ed live, though. Well, I did ask him to do it live even that first day. He's like, Witcher. No. Can't do it. I'm retired. I'm sleeping in. This old man used to get up early to do traffic for East Tennessee for years. Ain't doing it no more, he says. But that's why we have the recorded version of Ed Rupp. It's the best, isn't it? It's the best. Oh, Mike, you're still a spring chicken? To my age of 71. Okay, it's all relative, right, Sharon? It's all relative. But I don't feel like it. Well, I still feel like a spring chicken. You didn't know that there was even 19 radio stations left nowadays? Oh, come on, Jeff. Come on. I know. Radio, but Listen, I still think that television and radio still have a great place in our society. It's just got to change a little bit. But yeah, 19 radio stations and counting, actually. So if you know of any radio stations in your area that you listen to that I'm not on yet, reach out to them, reach out to me, let me know, connect us, and I'll do weather for them as well. Because why not? The Big Kahuna Wing Festival is August 19th. August 19th, and it runs. So you can get VIP or general admission tickets. VIP is allowed in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, general admission at 3 p.m., and it runs, I believe, until 9 p.m. at night. So yeah, we're getting a big giant tent, East Tennessee weather tent out there. We're going to have, the goal is to have a green screen on it as well. So because now I don't just want a tent to be standing there, but I'm going to have my weather stuff there so you, your kids, can come check out a green screen. Even though I don't use a green screen over there. I've got a TV that I use. Looks like a green screen, doesn't it? But good old television, good old TV weather. We use the big old green screen. That's what we do. We've got some great photos to share with you. How about this one? This is a cool photo. This is just amazing. This is what I got to experience here this past weekend. This was sent in by Misty Mowdy. Modi or Mowdy? I'm not quite sure. Sorry about that, Misty. Boating on Norris Lake on the 4th. And if you've never been to Norris, it is amazing. We spent the Sunday there as well. How about this shot? This is from my good friend. Well, we're not friends, but I think she's my good friend. Elaine Ombre, behind the lens is what she calls it. There's her logo right there. Behind the lens. And a beautiful shot of the almost full moon. Moonshine over Maryville, she calls it. I absolutely love that. We've got another great photo here to share with you this morning of the moon. And this one was sent in by Jeff West. Big shout out to Jeff West this morning. I believe he was on the chat. Did I catch that, Jeff? Was that you on the chat here this morning talking about it? Hey, there he is. There's Jeff, the one who didn't know that there was 19 radio stations. Great shot of the setting moon. The buck moon is what we call it. Those are all the photos I have for you today. Not too many photos, but don't forget, you can upload those through the Witcher's Pictures link using the East Tennessee Weather app. And if you've not seen the East Tennessee Weather app, even if you've not downloaded the East Tennessee Weather app, let me just give you a quick little preview of what it looks like. There it is. You open it up. You get your forecast right at the top. You get 1 minute with Witcher, which, by the way, just give me 1 minute of your time. You get everything you need to know in just 1 minute. You have your full traditional style forecast right there in the full forecast. And then you have the interactive radar, of course, which gives you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours based on what's going on right now and storm motion. It's not perfect. It's all based on storm motion on the skits from the National Weather Service, but it gives you a good idea. You get watches and warnings. You get storms approaching, lightning data when lightning's within 15 miles. But there's Witcher's Pictures right there. So if you click on it, you can either upload from your camera or take a picture. Give me as much information as possible in there so I can pass that along and share it with everybody else. And give me your full name if you want. And if you want to go subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you click on that, you can watch this live broadcast there, but also go smash and subscribe to that YouTube channel. It really helps to populate the platform quite a bit, actually. Wow, we've had a lot going on here today, haven't we? All right. Whoa, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. Well, we'll get myself back on camera here in just a second. That is your 7-day forecast, though. We do know that. Anyways, we're going to wrap things up here this morning. So as we do, I sure hope you have a great day today. It is hump day. Don't worry, I'm getting that back up on camera there. There we go. All right, so I hope you have a great day today. Wow, where did it go? Let's do that. How about that? That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Or maybe you just want to end with the 7-day forecast. Hey, listen, if you joined us late on the East Tennessee Weather app and not social media, or even on social media, switch back over to the app. Front and center on the app, we're broadcasting live. I'll send you back to the 24-hour weather channel and start you fresh from this morning's weather forecast. Wake up with Witcher, 1 minute with Witcher will be coming up here momentarily. Share your photos, you, your family, your vacations, your friends. The moon? Love to share those with everybody every single day. I sure hope you have a wonderful and safe day. I do appreciate you joining me here this morning and every single morning. Wake Up with Witcher starts off at 6 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday and Sunday. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. See you back here tomorrow.